All right, so ready to dive into a career that's all about protecting our borders,
Absolutely.
becoming a customs officer.
The big one.
This deep dive is going to be your one-stop shop for acing that interview, right?
Yeah.
We've got RoleCatcher's Career Guide and Interview Guide
Yep.
packed with insights. Plus, we're going to explore how their AI can, give you that extra edge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool stuff.
Think of it as your secret weapon for kind of outshining the competition.
Yeah. So, being a customs officer, it's not just checking passports anymore.
Right.
You're really the frontline defense against illegal imports, we're talking. Firearms, drugs, hazardous materials,
Oh, wow.
even endangered species, making sure that trade is smooth and legal.
It sounds like a pretty high-stakes role. I mean, with global impact.
Absolutely.
So where do these customs officers work? Is it just border crossings?
That's what you picture, right?
Yeah.
At airports, border checkpoints.
Uh-huh.
But actually, they can also work in government offices,
Right.
investigate international trade companies.
That's all.
They even travel to other countries for customs operations.
Oh, wow. So RoleCatcher's Career Guide, it kind of paints a picture of a very dynamic work environment.
Absolutely.
What can you tell us about that?
So it can be physically demanding.
Right.
You're going to be on your feet for long hours. You're often outdoors, interacting with people from all sorts of diverse cultures.
Right.
And you're going to be handling, potentially stressful situations. But on the flip side,
Yeah.
it also offers a variety of tasks and opportunities to specialize, in areas like drug trafficking or firearms smuggling.
Oh, wow. So there's
Yeah.
definitely an element of excitement and a global perspective.
Definitely.
But, RoleCatcher also highlights some challenges.
Of course, of course.
What are those?
Yeah, so the job definitely comes with high levels of stress,
Uh-huh.
irregular hours,
Yeah.
and potential exposure to dangerous situations.
Right.
There's a lot of pressure to get things right because, you're responsible for national security and economic stability.
So it's not for everybody,
Mm,
but for those who, thrive in those fast-paced environments,
absolutely.
it sounds incredibly rewarding.
Yeah.
Before we jump into those interview questions,
Mhm.
let's talk about how RoleCatcher's AI can help candidates really shine.
Yeah, so imagine, right, having a virtual coach
Yeah.
who analyzes the job description and then tailors your answers to match exactly what the employer's looking for.
That would be amazing.
And that's what RoleCatcher's AI does.
Oh, well.
It also offers video practice
Nice.
with personalized feedback.
Uh-huh.
So it's like having a mock interview
Right.
with an expert who's telling you exactly what to improve.
That sounds like an invaluable tool.
Yeah.
Now let's unpack some of the toughest interview questions using RoleCatcher's guides as our roadmap. What's the first one we should tackle?
Okay, so let's start with a classic.
Okay.
What inspired you to pursue a career in customs?
Okay. So the key here, right, is to avoid those generic responses like, I like helping people. They're looking for genuine passion
Right.
and understanding of the role.
So how do you suggest candidates approach this question?
You have to connect your unique story to the role's core values, right?
Okay.
So are you fascinated by international trade, passionate about security, law enforcement?
Uh-huh.
Or maybe you had a personal experience that highlighted the importance of customs.
Right.
And RoleCatcher's AI can actually help you fine-tune your answer
Okay.
and connect your story to the specific keywords the employer is looking for.
So it's all about showcasing that authenticity and
Yeah.
and demonstrating that you've really done your research.
Sure.
What's another question that often trips people up?
How do you stay up to date with the latest customs regulations and procedures?
Uh-huh.
Because customs laws, they're constantly changing.
Right.
They want to see that you're committed to continuous learning.
So just saying I read the news isn't going to cut it. No, definitely not.
Okay.
You have to be specific. Mention industry publications you follow, professional events you attend,
Mm-hmm.
online forums where you engage in discussions, or any specialized courses you've taken.
Right.
You got to show them that you're proactive and dedicated to staying ahead of the curve.
And RoleCatcher can help tailor the answer,
Yep.
Based on the specific job requirements, right?
Absolutely. It can even suggest relevant resources to mention,
Oh, wow.
highlighting that commitment to staying informed. Now let's move on to a question that requires a bit more finesse.
Okay.
Can you describe a time you faced a difficult situation as a customs officer?
This one seems pretty tricky, especially for those without direct experience.
Right.
What's the best approach there?
So RoleCatcher actually acknowledges that many candidates are, just entering the field.
Right.
So they emphasize the as in the question. If you have direct experience, fantastic.
Yeah.
Use a real example, focus on the steps you took, the skills you used, and the positive outcome you achieved.
Okay.
But even without that direct experience, you can draw upon transferable skills from other roles.
So it's about showcasing your ability to handle the pressure, solve problems,
Right.
make critical decisions, even if you haven't worked as a customs officer before.
Exactly. Have you ever resolved a conflict,
Uh-huh.
worked under pressure, made a tough decision with limited information?
Right.
All of these experiences are relevant. And RoleCatcher's AI can help you frame your response.
Oh.
Even without that direct experience, highlighting those transferable skills that match the job requirements.
Okay. That's really helpful. Now, are there any other common questions that we can prepare our listener for?
Yeah, there's a few more that often come up.
Okay.
One is, what is the most important aspect of being a customs officer?
Okay.
This is where you need to think bigger picture, right? It's not just about catching the bad guys.
Right.
It's about protecting the economy, national security, and making sure that trade practices are fair. Your answer should really reflect a broad understanding of the role's impact.
That makes sense. What else do they typically ask?
They might ask, how do you ensure compliance with all those regulations?
Okay.
And this is where you want to showcase your meticulous nature.
Uh-huh.
Highlight your reliance on systems, checklists, and continuous learning.
Right.
Show them that you take compliance seriously and you won't cut corners.
So it sounds pretty intense. What about those scenarios where you suspect illegal goods?
Right.
How would you answer a question like, what do you do if you suspect illegal goods?
This is all about demonstrating sound judgment and a clear process.
Right.
So you want to describe a step-by-step approach. Explain how you would verify your suspicions, communicate with your colleagues,
Uh-huh.
and potentially escalate the situation to the right authorities.
Okay.
Remember, you gotta stay calm, collected,
Right.
and really showcase your ability to handle pressure.
So it seems like they're really looking for someone who can think on their feet
Yeah.
and make the right call in a high-stakes situation.
Absolutely.
Is there anything else we should cover?
Yeah, let's not forget about the practical aspects of the job, right?
Okay.
They might ask you, how do you prioritize your workload?
Right.
And this is your chance to highlight your organizational skills and time management techniques. Talk about how you assess tasks, delegate when appropriate,
Uh-huh.
and utilize systems to stay on top of all your responsibilities.
Efficiency and organization are key.
For sure.
Any other questions that we should touch on before we move on?
One more that often comes up is, how do you treat importers and exporters fairly?
Okay.
This really gets to the heart of ethics and professionalism.
Uh-huh.
So emphasize your commitment to impartiality, treating everyone with respect, avoiding bias, and upholding the law consistently.
It's a good reminder that being a customs officer is not just about enforcing rules.
Yeah,
It's about doing so with fairness and integrity.
you got it.
So we've covered a lot of ground here,
For sure have.
from understanding the core duties and challenges to tackling some of those really tough interview questions.
Absolutely.
But before we dive deeper into career stages and those advancement opportunities, we're going to take a quick break.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned for more insights on acing your customs officer interview.
All right, so welcome back. Now that we've tackled some of those common interview questions, let's actually explore the career path itself. RoleCatcher's career guide, it outlines these three main stages, right? Entry level, junior, and senior. And what's great is they actually provide example profiles for each stage.
Oh, nice.
So it gives you a really realistic look at what to expect.
So it's not just a job, but a potential career trajectory.
Exactly. It's a journey of, growth and specialization.
Okay.
At the entry level, you're going to be focusing on the fundamentals. Conducting those basic inspections, verifying documents, assisting senior officers. Think of it as building that strong foundation.
Okay, so then you move up to junior customs officer. What does that involve?
You're taking on more responsibility, right? You're
Yeah.
conducting those thorough inspections. You're identifying potential risks, collaborating with other agencies,
Wow.
and even mentoring those entry-level officers. So you're applying those regulations in real-world scenarios,
Okay.
honing your skills.
Okay. And finally, you reach the coveted senior customs officer role.
Yes.
What sets this role apart?
This is where leadership really takes center stage.
Okay.
You're leading a team, you're developing strategies, you're conducting complex investigations.
Wow.
You're potentially even collaborating with international customs agencies. So it really requires that deep understanding of the field
Uh-huh.
and the ability to make those strategic decisions that impact national security
Right, right.
and global trade.
For our ambitious listeners out there, what does RoleCatcher say about advancement opportunities?
Yeah, so they actually highlight several paths. You could move into supervisory or management positions.
Right.
You could specialize in a particular area, like drug trafficking or cybersecurity.
Yeah.
You could even get involved in policy development or international collaborations.
Wow.
So your career can really evolve in many directions.
So even if you don't aim for the top, staying current is pretty crucial, right?
Absolutely. Customs is constantly evolving, right?
Right.
New technologies, new trade dynamics emerging all the time. So RoleCatcher emphasizes that continuous learning,
Mm-hmm.
taking courses, attending workshops, pursuing certifications, and really engaging with those professional organizations.
Okay. Speaking of which, does RoleCatcher mention any specific certifications that can, boost your credentials?
Yes, they actually highlight certifications like Certified Customs Specialist,
Okay.
Certified International Trade Professional, and Certified Global Business Professional.
Wow.
And these really demonstrate your expertise and that commitment to professional growth.
So we've covered the questions, the career path. Is there anything else that RoleCatcher offers to kind of help candidates stand out?
Yes. They actually have a whole suite of tools.
Oh, wow.
So they're AI-powered CV resume builder.
Okay.
It optimizes your resume to get past those applicant tracking systems. Those algorithms that scan your resume for keywords?
Yeah, I remember those. Brutal.
Brutal.
Yeah.
RoleCatcher also has features for network management.
Okay.
So helping you organize your contacts and those connections, they can be super valuable.
Right.
And then if you're maybe exploring other options, they have a career compass tool
Oh, cool.
that can help you discover related careers that really utilize your skills.
So it's not just about landing this job, but kind of managing your entire career journey.
Exactly.
Now, I want to circle back to those AI-powered features. How can they specifically help, tailor answers and get feedback?
Okay, so let's say you're working on that question about, staying up to date with regulations.
Okay.
You mentioned some publications, but are they the most relevant for this specific job?
Right.
RoleCatcher's AI, it analyzes that job description and it suggests resources that are highly valued by the employer.
It's like having a personalized research assistant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's not just the content, right? It's the delivery too. Let's say you're practicing your answers using their video feature.
Okay.
The AI, it analyzes your tone, your body language, even your pace
Wow.
to give you feedback on how to appear more confident and professional.
Like a virtual coach, minus the awkwardness of practicing with another person.
Right.
What else can the AI do?
It can actually identify weaknesses in your answers and suggest ways to strengthen them. So let's say you're discussing a challenging situation, but you forget to highlight the skills you used.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can pick up on that, and it'll prompt you to add those details,
Okay.
making your response much more impactful.
It's like having a second set of eyes, and eyes that are trained to spot what interviewers are looking for.
Precisely. It gives you that extra layer of polish, to make sure you're presenting yourself in the best possible light.
Right.
And in a competitive job market like this, even those small details, they can make a huge difference.
Now let's shift gears a little bit and explore another crucial aspect of the customs officer interview, which is understanding and addressing those tricky behavioral questions.
Yeah.
That delve into your past experiences.
Yeah, so these questions, they're designed to assess your skills,
Uh-huh.
your judgment, your ability to handle those real-world scenarios. So let's start with a common one, Tell me about a time you had to make a difficult decision with limited information.
Ooh, that sounds like a tough one.
It is.
How should our listener approach it?
The key is to choose a situation that really demonstrates your problem-solving abilities. your critical thinking skills, and your ability to remain calm under pressure.
Uh-huh.
So walk the interviewer through your thought process, how you gathered information, weighed the options, and ultimately made that decision.
So it's not just about the decision itself, but the process behind it.
Exactly. They want to see how you approach challenges,
Okay.
how you analyze information, and how you make those decisions under pressure. So don't be afraid to be specific,
Yeah.
Mention the resources you consulted, the people you spoke to, the factors you considered.
Okay. Um, I imagine a question like this might come up.
Okay.
Describe a time when you had to deal with a difficult customer or client. I mean, customs officers, they interact with all kinds of people, so it seems pretty relevant.
Oh, absolutely. This question's all about assessing your interpersonal skills, your conflict resolution abilities, and your ability to remain professional under pressure.
Okay.
So choose a situation where you successfully navigated a challenging interaction and really focus on your active listening skills, your empathy, and your ability to find a resolution that satisfied all parties involved.
So it's not just about being right, but about finding a workable solution.
Yes.
While maintaining that professionalism.
Exactly. Customs officers, they need to be firm but fair, respectful but assertive. They're the face of the government in many interactions.
Right.
So showcasing your ability to handle those difficult situations with diplomacy is really essential.
Okay. What other behavioral questions might come up?
So they might ask you to describe a time when you had to work as part of a team to achieve a common goal.
Okay.
Teamwork is absolutely crucial in customs.
Yeah.
So highlighting your collaborative skills is super important. Choose an experience that showcases your ability to contribute to a team, communicate effectively, and really work towards that shared objective.
So think about, projects you've worked on, challenges you've overcome as a team, and the specific role that you played in achieving that success.
Yep.
Okay, what else might they ask?
They might ask you to describe a time when you had to go above and beyond the call of duty.
Okay.
This is your chance to showcase your dedication, your initiative, your commitment to excellence.
Right.
Think about a time when you went the extra mile, you took on those additional responsibilities,
Okay.
or you found a creative solution to a problem.
So it's about demonstrating that you're not just clocking in and out.
Right.
But that you're invested in the mission.
Yes.
And committed to making a difference.
Yeah.
Are there any more behavioral questions that we should touch on before we move on?
One more that often comes up is describe a time when you made a mistake.
Okay.
This one can be tricky.
Yeah.
But it's a great opportunity to showcase your self-awareness, your accountability, and your ability to learn from your experiences.
It's about showing that you're human. You make mistakes.
Right.
But that you own up to them, learn from them,
Yeah.
and take steps to avoid repeating them.
Exactly. So choose a situation where you made a genuine mistake, but then focus on the steps you took to correct it,
Okay.
the lessons you learned, and how you've grown from that experience.
Okay. This has been incredibly helpful.
Yeah.
We've explored those challenging behavioral questions.
Yeah.
And how to approach them strategically.
For sure.
But before we wrap up this deep dive into acing your customs officer interview,
Yeah.
we want to equip you with some final tips
Yeah.
and resources
Absolutely.
that will boost your confidence and help you really shine. So stay tuned for our final segment.
Okay, so we're back for the final part of our deep dive into conquering that customs officer interview. And we've covered a lot, right?
Yeah, we have.
From understanding the role and its demands to breaking down some of those really challenging interview questions.
Absolutely, and those behavioral questions too.
Yeah, those are always tough.
We've also explored how RoleCatcher's AI-powered tools can really be, like you said, your secret weapon, helping you, tailor your answers and refine your delivery.
Yeah.
And really stand out from the competition.
Right. It's a competitive field out there.
Yeah. But, before we send you off to ace that interview, let's kind of crystallize everything we've learned into some actionable takeaways.
Great idea.
So the most important thing to remember is that preparation is key. I mean, it's not just about memorizing answers, right?
All right.
It's about really understanding the role, the industry, what the employer's looking for. And RoleCatcher's Career Guide and Interview Guide, they provide some really valuable insights to help you do just that.
Absolutely. Like you said before, it's like having a mentor in your back pocket.
Yeah, yeah. What else should our listeners keep in mind as they prepare?
Remember those AI-powered features? Those are your allies. Use them. Use them to analyze the job description. Tailor your responses. Get that feedback on your delivery and identify any weaknesses in your approach. It's really about maximizing your preparation
Okay.
and going into that interview with confidence.
So for anyone who's feeling a little overwhelmed or intimidated by the whole process, what's our message to them?
Don't be. It's a challenging process, for sure.
Yeah.
But with the right preparation, the right tools, you can absolutely succeed. RoleCatcher really does empower you to become a standout candidate. So take that first step and explore what they have to offer.
That's a great point. This deep dive is giving you a taste of what's possible, but the real transformation happens when you start applying these strategies yourself.
Yeah.
What's our final call to action for our listeners out there?
Head over to RoleCatcher. Sign up for free. Start exploring. Dive into those customs officer guides. Experiment with those AI features and see how they can revolutionize your interview preparation.
Yeah, you really have nothing to lose and a fulfilling career to gain.
Right.
And remember, even seasoned customs officers have to stay sharp.
Absolutely.
It's a constantly evolving field.
Yeah.
So continuous learning is really essential.
It is. Keep that curiosity alive. Embrace those new technologies. Stay engaged with industry trends, and you'll thrive in this really exciting, impactful career.
This has been a really incredible journey.
It has.
And we hope you've found it as valuable as we have. Good luck with your customs officer aspirations.
Best of luck.
We're confident you have what it takes to succeed.